Hello, Adam from godisgeek.com here, and I am joined by Gary Bailey. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm sure you're incredibly excited to speak about probably... Is this your most anticipated game?
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Definitely.
We are discussing Resident Evil 2. Gary, you've played it. Your review is on the site for everyone to read. Did it deliver?
Very much so, yeah. It's everything that you want from a remake, but with more. You know,
more?
Yeah, and like some nice surprises, and so you know, if you've played it before, you're not just playing the same game again, just prettier. You know, you're getting extra content. There's new places, and they've changed the way some places look as well. So it feels like a brand new game rather than a remake.
Do you think this is going to be something that fans will accept and love?
Definitely, yeah.
Because it is quite like it is risky to change something as loved as the original, but at the same time, this is a remake.
Yeah,
we have to stress that
it's very much like the remake of the first game that they brought out on GameCube, and now you can basically get it everywhere. Whereas, you know, that although it kept the gameplay style, it did change a lot of like the layout of the mansion. It added new things, like the Crimson Heads, that kind of thing, and it even added like a new enemy, and like that. They've kind of done that again, but they've obviously taken the newer gameplay style, the over the shoulder rather than the fixed cameras, so you're still getting the same sort of places to visit, but because of the new camera angle, it feels a lot more different, but it still retains that claustrophobia. I mean, I'd probably say it's even more claustrophobic actually, because you're so, you know, you feel confined in these little corridors because your camera's quite close in. You can still only see a certain amount, and I
suppose, to be honest, that brings in like the actual scare factor of the game. Like when the original came out, we can both say that it was terrifying at the time for us.
Definitely.
And for probably anyone who played it. How is this remake? Does it like, because we've been treated like horror games, like there's so many incredible games out there in the horror genre that are absolutely terrifying. How does Resi 2 hold up?
It's a different kind of scare. I mean, it's not... It's very scary. Some people will be terrified of it, especially when you're going into like the dark areas and all you've got is a torch just to light the way. But it's more of a tension. You know, you're always on the lookout for something coming after you. Be it like you go into a room and there's full of zombies and they're kind of clawing over everything to get to you, or whether it's later on, which I mean, this isn't a spoiler, it's been in everything. You've got the tyrant that follows you when he shows up. I mean, to be fair, it's actually quite early on, really. It's only a few hours in, I think, if I remember right, and when he shows up, that's when the sort of the tension ramps right up, because he's non-stop. You know,
okay.
He's not like, I mean, to be fair, actually no, I'd say he is terrifying, because when you hear him stomping around outside and the door suddenly bashes open and you're stuck in a tiny little room, this fucking hulking brute comes in. Good God. Yeah,
he kind of looks a bit like Thanos or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like, it's weird because his face looks like Dolph Lundgren, but his size and the weird kind of wrinkles of his skin, yeah, he definitely has a Thanos vibe as well. Just need Deadpool to show up and so that he's got a ball sack or something, you know. It's
So the one thing that stands out for a lot of people here is how this game looks. This is using the RE engine.
Yeah.
And this was first brought in for Resi 7. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
I personally think this game looks phenomenal. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's like Resi 7 looked great, But there were certain things that didn't look quite as good as the, you know, like some of the games now. I mean, it's a couple of years old now, so you know, technology moves on very quickly now. But this does look like it's on another level. Like, it's amazing that this is the same engine. Yeah, it's been improved and stuff like that, but just the level of detail. I mean, when you look at like Claire and Leon, their facial animation, everything is just superb.
Yeah, you're dead right in saying that, like, there is an upgrade there within this engine, because you can see it within like their hair and stuff, and the detail on their face. It's just really, really good. Is there anything that they could have added, do you think? Is there any, like, do you feel like the wait has been, it's been quite some time here. Like, a lot of people have been waiting for this game, and it's always hard to believe, like, when a game is this anticipated and wanted this much, like, that it's nearly here for everyone. Like, is there anything you wish they could have maybe brought in, or are you, like, as a major fan of this series, are you just like completely in love?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've done all they could do and more already. Like, because I mean, the game. I mean, it's been a while since I very first played the original. It's like 21 years ago. But this feels like even longer, but it never feels like it's dragging on. You know, it never feels like there's too much open area, or, you know, it's always got something happening.
Yeah.
Even when you're alone and you're walking down a quiet corridor, you always feel like there's something about to happen, or you can always hear something scratching around, or in the case of like the lickers, you can hear their breathing and stuff like that. It's
how are the lickers?
Oh, Jesus! Oh, the
good.
Speed.
That's all we need to know.
I mean, the speed is just unreal.
Yeah,
because, you know, like, they don't see you, obviously, they're blind, but they hear you, and if they hear you, they come at you, and it's almost like I can't really think of a specific. There's, like, in certain films, you know, where you see, like, there's a thing that bouncing around like a monster or something. It's like bouncing off walls. That's what it's like. You know, you'll see it and it's just sat on the ceiling, and if you take a shot at it, it's like jumping on and off the walls, and it just launches itself at you. And it's so difficult to get out of the way of it. Yeah. It's pretty much, if this thing gets an attack on you, it's going to hit you. And they can do a lot of damage.
Yeah. I suppose brings us on to this question regarding the story. Now, obviously, if you've played the original, you know how it goes. Is it true to the story? Do they, without obviously spoiling anything at all, does it add some, like, surprises?
Yes, there's some new little bits. It doesn't change the story dramatically or anything like that. The main story is essentially the same. It's just little things happen differently, and there's a whole new section for one of the character bits as well.
Okay.
But it's like, if you've played the original, you're not really going to go, oh, that thing that happened at the end is a big surprise, because you know that's happening. But it's just little tiny scenes here and there that happen that you're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
All right. Okay.
It just takes you in new directions, just more in the settings rather than the full story.
Okay. How do you think speedrunners are going to get on?
Ooh, yeah, I think just generally it can go quite well, but it's when the tyrant's around that I think they're going to struggle, because there are times where you're going to have to go around him, and sometimes he's going to be outside a room you need to be in, or he's in the general vicinity and you've got to go into like a dead end or something. So some of it's going to be luck, and some of it's going to be extreme patience.
Okay, well, there you have it. Gary, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
You can read Gary's full review on godisgeek.com. Be sure to subscribe, comment, and enjoy Resident Evil 2 if you get it. Thank you, guys.